Hello and welcome to Nintendo Pals Podcast, the show all about Nintendo and friendship. Tonight, we're going to be talking the news from this week, including Nintendo Live happened, and rumors of a Nintendo Direct happening this next week, plus no DLC for Tears of the Kingdom. Nintendo maybe showed off a new Switch model to secret investor people, and NSO dropped some new games. So let's talk about all of that and more. Greetings, fellow Nintendo pals. It's me, Andros, and I am solo tonight. Unfortunately, Micah had to bail on this week's recording. Kind of last-minute stuff come up for him, but that is A-okay, because we've got a ton to cover here. So I say we just jump straight into it. First off, Nintendo Live. It happened. It was a thing that happened. What was it? Well, it looks like it was mostly photo opportunities with some really cool props and set design for the event. You could see different artifacts and objects from different Nintendo games. I saw that the Kirby and the Forgotten Land stuff was busted out. The Tears of the Kingdom stuff was busted out. There was also a host of game events, including a Mario competition where people got to compete in different Mario games to try and be the best Mario gamer. And there was demos available to play Super Mario Wonder, which is crazy. That game is still a month away, and there were demos out for it already. So that's pretty hype. And overall, seemed like it was a really well-received event. Apparently very busy. It was quite packed with people. And I am bummed that I did not get to go. But next year. There's always next year, right? Oh, well, let's just jump to the next news item here. We have brand new Nintendo Switch bundles being launched, very soon. First off, we've got a Mario Kart 8 Deluxe bundle, which will come with the standard version 1 Switch. With the red and blue Joy-Con colors. So this is not an OLED, but it comes with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and 3-month NSO ship. So this is the exact bundle that they've been doing for Black Friday for the past 3 years, and now it's just going to be available all the time, not on Black Friday specifically. And I'd say it's about time. It's about time we got a bundle like this. But in addition to that, there's also going to be a Nintendo Switch Sports bundle, which is the same thing, but with Nintendo Switch Sports instead of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And 2 Switch Lite bundles with Animal Crossing in 2 colors, blue and pink. The Switches, not Animal Crossing. So, one comment in our Discord was, if only they had this 3 years ago. To which I say yes. That was from Purple Riolu. Yeah, why? This seems too late for the Animal Crossing hype train, and I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that one. It's a little weird that they decided to do that bundle now. I'm glad that we have it as an option. So with all of those bundles, I believe you get NSO for 3 months, and that's the standard NSO. And while we're on the topic of NSO has dropped 4 new games this week. That's Kirby Star Stacker for the SNES, which is a Kirby drop puzzle game. Quest for Camelot for the Game Boy Color, which I completely forgot about this movie. This was that was an animated movie I watched as a kid. It was right at the era of CG coming in. I remember there being like some CG characters, but it was like hand-drawn animation. Anyways, the game looks really bad, but it's there if you ever want to try it. It's a Zelda-like game, and I played it for about 30 seconds. I was like, yep, I'm gonna go back and play the Zelda games on NSO instead. But it's there if you want to try that one out. And in addition to that, we've got 2 NES games. Now this first one's a long title: Downtown Neketsu March Super Awesome Field Day, which looks to be kind of like a beat 'em up adventure game. Yeah, looks fun, looks cool. And then Joy Mech Fight for NES. Now this one, if you played Smash Bros, you will recognize the like mech character from the assist trophy. It's that like pink blobby guy that's got different floating appendages, and he'll dance around the map and hit people. Yeah, that's what this is. That's what that guy's from. So that's kind of cool. A little piece of Smash Bros history that we can now play the game for. Next up in the news, we have Charles Martinet, who has announced that he has a new role as the Mario Ambassador, which essentially means he'll be traveling around at different fan meetups and conventions, like he's already been doing, but this is just now his official job and role with the company. And he'll be spreading the joy of Mario. But with that, he will no longer be voicing Mario for games. At least that's how it appears, because for Mario Wonder, the voice will be switching for Mario and Luigi to a new voice actor who will go unnamed. It looks like Nintendo isn't going to push for the voice actor to be like a known name in this case, which is how it typically goes. I think there's like relatively very few voice actors who are known for who they are outside of the voices they do, if that makes sense. You just know the character. You don't necessarily know the person that's playing that character, at least in the video game space. And taking a step back here, like this has nothing to do with the news item, but I just think that's a little weird. I kind of feel like maybe there are people that don't want that credit, but I think it's kind of cool that in Charles Martinet's case, like he's become a bit of a celebrity. That's like his job, and he loves it. And people love doing meetups and stuff with him. He seems like a cool guy, and it's just like, yeah, why not give them a little bit of the limelight for the cool work that they're doing on your games? Probably because then you have more negotiating power, and they may have to pay you more. That's my tinfoil hat conspiracy theory on that. Like, we don't know who voices Link? And then there was the whole fiasco this last how long ago was that with the Bayonetta voice actress? And I'm yeah, that's probably why they don't like publicly say who's doing what in those roles. But that is what we have for the news. So why don't we head on over to talk about some rumors. First off, this isn't really a rumor, but kind of more of a unconfirmed truth. What is a rumor but an unconfirmed truth? But in a recent Famitsu article, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom producer Aonuma and director Fujibayashi, hopefully I'm pronouncing your name right, man, I'm sorry if not, talked about the game and the development of the game. And through this interview, we have learned that there is not plans for DLC for Tears of the Kingdom. Now, this is rough translation here from the Famitsu.com, but Aonuma says, there are no plans to release additional content this time, but that's because I feel like I've done everything I can do to create games in that world. In the first place, the reason why we chose this time as a sequel to the previous game is because we thought there would be value in experiencing a new kind of play in the place in Hyrule. Then, if such a reason is newly born, it may return to the same world again. Whether it's a sequel or a new work, I think it will be a completely new way to play, so I'd be happy if you could look forward to it. Basically saying, we're just gonna be saving our ideas for the next game. And this surprised me, I'll be honest, because Breath of the Wild I felt like was a complete package as well, but then they added more. And the DLC was awesome. It was super fun. I really enjoyed Master Mode, which, first off, like, why not just add that? You know, like why not throw in Master Mode or a Trial of the Sword of sorts? Because that was just like bonus content. Unless I've missed something and there's something like that already in Tears of the Kingdom, but I don't think there is. And then I liked the new story elements. I was really banking on Cass coming back for the DLC in Tears of the Kingdom. So it looks like boy Cass is going to be left on the cutting room floor, which is unfortunate because he was awesome. Yeah, I mean, I respectfully disagree with Aonuma, but I do also kind of respect the move to just go, no, this game's done. We don't need to put out more stuff for it. This is a complete package with what it is. So there's some value to that, and that doesn't happen enough in the game space for AAA games in modern day. Like, everybody's putting out games, and then it's just tons of content on top of those games. To see complete packages is great. But I think there's more you could do. First off, you could bring in the shrine abilities, the rune abilities from Breath of the Wild as bonus content. So you could get those in here. You could have remote detonating bombs. You could have... Mostly I just want stasis back, I think is kind of the one thing that is missing in the current lineup, because you kind of already have magnesis and bombs. So yeah, just add stasis. DLC, it's stasis, Master Mode, and new Trial of the Sword. That would be cool. Also, side note in this interview, director Fujibayashi was asked about the reception of Koroks in the game and how they were buzzing on social media. And his quote here is, "I wasn't aiming for the buzz per se, but I had a vague idea of how Koroks would be treated with Ultra Hand and Zonai gear." They knew what they were doing. Moving on, Nintendo Direct happening soon? The rumors swirl about. Now, it's typical that we get a September Nintendo Direct, and I think that we will see something here in the very near future. When this podcast goes live, we may be hearing an announcement same day as this podcast is going live, because they tend to be doing these day before. We're gonna have a Nintendo Direct tomorrow, or like 3 days before. You're not getting a week's notice. It's just gonna drop. But there are some interesting rumors swirling about this Nintendo Direct. For starters, we have got from a fairly reputable leaker information showing that there may be F-Zero in this coming. So let me pull up my information here. All right. So, spoilers for potential direct, but this is all rumor. This is all none of this is confirmed. But this comes from leaker Pyrobe. Says, in order to avoid spam and taking into content what I've been told, here's kind of a summary. First off, Smash Bros is getting a content update. Okay, maybe. Princess Peach game will be shown. That I find really believable. I think they could definitely show more Princess Peach game. And a new Kirby game will be shown. That would be interesting. And the rumor here is it's a Rainbow Course style game. So that kind of makes sense, because we haven't really had... Well, no. Dream Buffet's kind of like a course running type game. Although Rainbow Course was totally different with how it goes. But you know what I mean? Like a spin-off Kirby game. Star Wars Hunters, Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy Tactics, and more for third party. And final bit of rumor here is that Metroid Prime 4 is ready to be shown. I think it is about time. It is about time for that. Micah's not here to get his hopes up, but if this drops, me and him will drop everything to watch, because we got to get his live reaction if Metroid Prime 4 does finally show up. It would be awful to not get that. And that's what we got going for rumors for the Nintendo Direct. Speculation in our community from expert Monkey Thunder is that it will be coming on... Let's see. What days did we say? I can't find it. I can't find it. Oh no. His guess is September 13th. September 13th. So this Wednesday. And we had Spider Shan put his guess the following week, the 19th. So we'll see. We'll see. My guess, if I had to pick a date, I'd probably say we are more likely to see it next week than towards the end of September. That's my guess. But we'll see. And then finally closing out this episode, we have rumors that Nintendo showed off a Switch successor to a private audience at Gamescom. Now, this one I didn't get a chance to look like super thoroughly into here, but there were rumors swirling around saying that a Switch 2 was demoed at Gamescom. And it was understood to have been shown an improved version of Zelda Breath of the Wild running at a higher frame rate, as well as showing the Unreal Engine 5 tech demo for Matrix Awakens, which I don't know if that's... I don't know if... Obviously, it's all rumors. But there were lots of people saying it runs as good as a PS5. And, like, listen, take your grain of salt, your massive rock-sized grain of salt, and just swallow it whole, because there's, in my mind, we need to come in with very low expectations for what a Switch sequel will be. Because if we come out here swinging saying it's going to be up on par with current generation consoles for PlayStation and Xbox, then we're going to be disappointed. But if we come expecting what we got from Switch to Switch OLED, and then it's way better than that, then we're going to be super excited. So that's my pro tip. Temper your expectations. And with that, I think we are good to call this an episode. This was a dive into the Nintendo news, and I hope y'all enjoyed it. You can find me over at youtube.com/Andros1 and on twitch.tv/Andros1, where I gallivant around playing Tears of the Kingdom and other Nintendo games with crazy challenges. But you can also follow the show, Nintendo Pals, on all the platforms. And yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, please comment below with what you thought about this week's news. Are you convinced there will be a Direct? And what do you think the Switch 2 will have on it? Also, subscribe. Hey, while you're down there leaving a comment, subscribe and like the video, and remember to rate and review us on podcast listening apps if you're over listening on those places. With that, I will close us out here with the Patreon Poke Rap, our weekly and daily shout out to our patron supporters. And here it is. We gotta rap some Patreon.
You just do the singing. I'll take care of the hard part.
Let's get it on.
We want to be the best that ever us and shout out our pals over on Patreon.
LPD, Rizzo, Retro Logic Dan, Tim the Nintendo Dash Slim, Tor Spider Chan, Solo something, Mute Dog the Game, Little Miss 7 and Monkey Thunder.
Catch 'em, gotta catch 'em all, gotta catch 'em all. Patreon.
Kid, Fiasco, Third Strongest Mole, Fedorable Will, All and Seth Sturgill, Cosmic, Purple Viola, That Fast John, and Lava Plays too.
Gotta catch 'em all, gotta catch 'em all.
Yeah.
Gotta catch 'em all, gotta catch 'em all.
Yeah.
Gotta catch 'em all. Patreon. Let's get 150 or more, yeah, please, to be a Patreon.